We have a doozy. It's a forgiveness one. Oof. It's so crazy how people are so concerned about whether or not I provide forgiveness, as if they're living in my body and my life. It's so triggering to people when I say I have no need to forgive my mother ever, to forgive the unforgivable, my grandparents, the family system, the whole 9 yards, and they are erased from my life. Like, the void that I have is from never having had a safe family, a mother, those experiences. It's not them. They aren't a thought to me anymore. I make these videos to share my experience to help us all heal, because it is very healing for me. Anyway, let's get into the comment, because I'm going off on a tangent here and you don't even know what they've said yet. You're going to figure it out real fast why I'm on the tangent. Here we go. This is my favorite. I love when people say this, not. Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. That is correct. It is for me, and I forgive me for the things that I did when I didn't know any better, for the ways that sometimes I hurt other people, from my own emotional immaturity, for the ways that I have abandoned myself. I forgive myself. That is for me. Oh, but that's not what you mean. Oopsie. You don't have to allow them in your life. You don't even have to speak to them or even tell them that you've forgiven them. Are you giving me permission? Forgiving someone just means you won't let them control you anymore. I've been no contact for over 30 years. Pretty sure nobody's controlling me but me. You say that you can let go of the bitterness, anger, and hate. Rewatch your video. Take your own advice. You need to rewatch the video. You don't like what I said. You don't like that I gave permission, because who am I to give permission, to people out there who are struggling to forgive to not bother. If we have to struggle to forgive the unforgivable, why? Why are we bothering to do that? Not forgiving, I'm going to say it again and again and again until people like you get it, which you're not going to, but whatever, is not synonymous with holding on to bitterness, which, by the way, is in my right to do so if I choose to do so. Anger, hate, all of those things. I don't have any feelings towards any of my family members, family relatives on my mother's side anymore at all. I stopped letting my mother take a chunk and control my life the day that I stopped being a person who was living in anger. And I put it that way because there's times where something comes up, a memory or something, and I might be angry again. I'm human, but I don't live in it. I live in the most zen, peaceful place, and where I am in my life now is like, it's all about love. It's all about cherishing myself. It's all about creating relationships with people who I can have reciprocity with instead of transaction. And we reciprocate safety, being seen, and being valued, cherished. Safe, seen, cherished. That's it. That's where my life is. I am not focused on any relationship that's ever done me harm, because it's a waste of my time, and you're right on the control part. My mother would have loved to know that I was carrying anger, because that would mean she was still controlling my emotions. I get what you're trying to say, but you're doing it wrong, because it's not about forgiveness. It's about finding peace in whatever way that looks like for each individual person. It's not linear. It's not one choice. We have different belief systems, and I'm not really sure why you can't respect that, but that's not my problem. That's a you problem. This is extremely judgmental, so judgmental. Like I'm doing something wrong, and I'm going to read the rest of the comments so everybody can see what else I'm talking about. This is my favorite part. The emotions you show, how triggered you are, say that you can't. If you aren't ready, you aren't ready. That's fine. Just don't lie to yourself saying that she doesn't still control you by controlling your emotions. The way to truly be true to yourself is to be honest with yourself. I see what you're doing, my little keyboard warrior. You're trying to judge me for my emotions and make me feel like there's something wrong with me and that my emotions aren't appropriate. Using the word triggered. Whew. Do you think I'm triggered now? Because I'm not. I'm not at all. And the thing with being triggered that I think people miss is triggered is more like not a triggered emotion. It's really more of a triggered action. When we're triggered into like fawning, for example, being the good little girl, or freeze because we're in fear, or fight because we've been pushed, to a point where we go into fight. I'm not really a fight person. Or flight. I'm a big flight person. That's being triggered to me. That's what it means to me. When somebody's triggering me, I'm going into something that's a coping mechanism. Not an emotion necessarily, but a coping mechanism. Or a familiar place, like feeling like I'm in trouble or I'm going to be abandoned. Those kinds of feelings. Feeling angry, it's just an emotion. Feeling sad, just an emotion. Neither negative or positive. Survivors of narcissistic abuse, and I have a feeling you know this because you're trying to trigger me, have a great deal of difficulty owning their anger and recognizing that it's oftentimes the best fuel ever. It helps us to heal. And the reason that narcissistic abuse survivors have such a problem with anger, aside from the fact that they've been shamed if they even look like they're angry, is because in our childhoods, we got the emotion confused with the action. Anger is not an action, it's an emotion. And when our parents said, "You're making me angry," and they directed their rage at us, we started to associate anger with being a horrible person. And our abusers doubled down on making us feel like if we were angry, it's not a big deal. I don't know what you're angry about, or you're not allowed to be angry, or shame on you for being angry after all I've done for you, that sort of thing. And so it's a very difficult, sticky emotion for a lot of survivors. And I tell people all the time, I'm so glad you're angry because it's the gateway to healing. So, I don't even know what else to say. I'm like speechless at what you tried to do here, and I don't know what you get from it. I know you're not getting what you're looking for, which is controlling me in any way, shape, or form. I am honest with myself. I'm also honest with the people out there. And I don't think you like it. And I wonder who it is that's going to be angry at you. And I wonder who it is that's never going to forgive you. Because, well, you're probably not going to be accountable for your own actions. And if you want to come back and say, I survived trauma too, and I forgave my parents and this, that, and the other, I know that already. I know that already. That doesn't give you a right or a license just because maybe you went through a similar experience like what I did. It doesn't give you a license to push your agenda on me and to be so judgmental and actually kind of nasty. It doesn't. So anyway, anywhoosie, I hope you have a wonderful day. Sincerely, because I'm not angry at you, because I don't know you. You're just a person on the internet trying to control my emotions. Good luck with that.